You are not losing. You are quitting at the exact moment things start to matter. And you don't even notice it happening because it doesn't look like quitting. It looks like delay. It looks like distraction. It looks like, I'll do it later. You open your phone without thinking. You tell yourself it's just a quick break. But 10 minutes turn into an hour, and the task you were supposed to face is still sitting there, unchanged. This is not randomness. This is pattern recognition. Every time effort becomes uncomfortable, you step out of it, quietly, automatically, without questioning it. And then you call it fatigue, or timing, or lack of clarity. But none of that is the real reason. The real reason is simpler and harder to admit. You don't know how to stay when it stops feeling easy. That's the stage you keep failing at. Not the beginning, not the planning, not the idea phase, the middle, the part where nothing is exciting anymore, but nothing is finished either. This is where most people lie to themselves. Because in this stage, you are alone with your own resistance. No motivation, no novelty. Just repetition and discomfort. And instead of staying inside it, you escape. You check something irrelevant. You reorganize your plan. You convince yourself you'll restart stronger tomorrow. But tomorrow is just the same moment, repeated with a different excuse. And slowly, without realizing it, you train yourself to never stay long enough for anything to change. You don't lack discipline in general. You lack survival in this stage, the stage where progress actually forms, but feels like nothing is happening. What you keep calling lack of consistency is actually a predictable internal system. It runs automatically, and until you understand it, you'll keep thinking every restart is a fresh attempt, when it's actually the same pattern repeating itself. There are 3 mechanisms driving this. First, self-deception through logic. You don't quit directly. You justify leaving. You say things like, I need a better plan. This approach isn't working. I'll start properly tomorrow. It feels reasonable, even responsible, but it's not improvement. It's avoidance wearing the mask of intelligence. Second, the avoidance loop. Discomfort appears. You delay, pressure drops. Your brain gets relief the next time. Delay happens faster. And over time, your system learns one thing. Escape equals relief, not progress. Not growth, relief. So when difficulty shows up again, your mind already knows the exit route. Third, emotional negotiation. You stop following structure and start following mood. If you feel ready, you act. If you don't feel ready, you delay. And slowly, your emotions become the manager of your behavior, not logic, not discipline, not standards, just state. That's why your productivity feels unstable. Not because you're inconsistent randomly, because you are consistent in one thing. You exit when resistance appears. Let's ground it in something simple. You sit down to work on something important. At first, it's fine. You're engaged. Then clarity drops slightly. Effort increases slightly. That small shift is the trigger. You minimize the window. Check something. Tell yourself you'll reset after a break. But that break is not recovery. It's transition out of discomfort. And once you've done that enough times, your brain stops treating resistance as something to face. It starts treating it as something to avoid. That's the system, not broken, just trained. And what you're seeing now is the result of that training. 1. The middle phase is where identity breaks. There's a point in every task where you stop feeling momentum, not the beginning. That part is easy. The middle is where things flatten, progress is no longer visible. Energy is no longer high. Clarity starts fading. And this is where most people misinterpret what's happening. They think something is wrong with the task, but nothing is wrong with the task. Something is happening inside you. This is where identity starts getting tested without announcement. Because now you're no longer acting on excitement. You're acting on structure. And structure exposes who you actually are. This is where most people lie to themselves. You tell yourself you're tired, day, or distracted, or not in the right mindset. But if you observe closely, it always happens at the same point. When effort stops feeling rewarding, that's not coincidence, that's conditioning. Day. You were never trained to stay when reward disappears. You were trained to continue only when feedback is immediate. So, when the middle phase removes feedback, your system collapses inward. Day. You don't consciously decide to stop. You simply drift out of it. This is why progress feels inconsistent, not because you lack capability. Day. Because your identity has never been forced to survive silence. And silence is exactly what the middle phase is. No validation, no urgency, no emotional reward, just work. Day. And most people are not built for that yet. Not because they are incapable, but because they've never stayed long enough to become capable too. Day. You keep rebuilding instead of enduring. There's a subtle pattern that keeps your life stuck in cycles. You don't fail once, you restart repeatedly. And every restart feels like progress. But it's not. Day. It's avoidance disguised as renewal. You abandon the discomfort phase and return to the beginning, where everything feels easier, clearer, and more controlled. But the beginning is a trap. Day. Because nothing meaningful is demanded there. So you feel competent without being tested. And that creates a false sense of growth. This is why people stay busy for years without real change. Day. Let's make it practical. Someone starts learning a skill. First few days. Motivation is high. Everything feels possible. Then comes repetition. Confusion. Slow improvement. Day. This is the middle phase again. Instead of pushing through, they switch to a course, new method, new system. Each time they reset, they avoid the exact moment where skill actually develops. Day. So they never build depth. They only build restarts. And restarts feel productive, but they reset identity every time. No accumulation, no compounding, no continuity, just repetition of beginnings. Day. And this is where progress silently collapses. Not from failure, from interruption, because what actually builds ability is not starting, it's staying. Day. And you've trained yourself to leave too early for anything to compound. Comfort feels like safety until it becomes a ceiling. Most people don't realize this. Comfort is not neutral, it's directional. It pulls you toward repetition of what already feels familiar. Day. And anything unfamiliar, anything requiring extended effort, feels like threat, so you naturally drift back to comfort every time resistance appears. Not because you are weak. Day. Because your system is protecting familiarity. But familiarity has a cost. It keeps your capacity unchanged. This is the part you ignore every day. Day. You think staying comfortable is harmless because nothing bad is happening. But nothing changing is also a consequence. Let's look at relationships. Day. Someone avoids difficult conversations because they feel uncomfortable, so they delay. They distract. They wait for the right moment. But that moment never becomes easier. Day. It just becomes heavier over time. And eventually, avoidance becomes the relationship structure itself. Not because they didn't care, but because they kept choosing comfort over clarity. Day. The same applies to work, discipline, health, everything. Comfort doesn't stop progress directly. It slows it down quietly until it becomes invisible. Day. And by the time you notice it, you've already built years of delay for. The real decision happens in seconds. There is a small window where everything changes. Not hours, not plans. Seconds. Day. The moment resistance appears, that is where your future direction is decided. Stay or exit. Engage or escape. There is no third option. And the truth is uncomfortable. Day. You are not shaping your life through big decisions. You are shaping it through repeated micro-exits. Every time you leave at discomfort, you reinforce identity. I don't stay when it gets hard. Day. And every repetition strengthens that identity without needing words. This is why change feels difficult, because you are not fighting tasks. You are fighting repetition. Let's make it real again. Day. You start working late in the evening. Everything is fine for a while. Then fatigue appears. Focus drops slightly. That is the moment. If you leave, nothing changes internally. If you stay, day. Even slightly longer than usual, something shifts quietly, not externally, internally. A different signal is sent. I remain under pressure. And over time, that signal becomes identity. Day. Not instantly, not dramatically, but permanently. And that is what decides whether you grow or repeat. At this stage, nothing new is missing from your understanding. The issue is not clarity anymore. Day. It's acceptance of responsibility without escape routes. Because once you see the pattern clearly, you can't keep blaming confusion. You're aware now that your life is not shaped in big moments. Day. It's shaped in small exits you repeat without noticing. And those exits are not random. They form a structure that quietly defines your results over time. Day. You don't fail because you lack effort. You fail because your effort does not survive resistance. And that changes everything, because now the problem is not motivation or strategy. Day. It is identity under pressure. You can only perform up to the level your identity can tolerate discomfort. Not what you wish you could do, not what you plan to do. Day. What you can remain inside when it stops feeling comfortable. That is the real ceiling. And most people never test it directly. They avoid that edge by restarting, switching, delaying, day, or over-planning. But avoidance doesn't remove the ceiling. It just keeps it in place. This is where discipline becomes something different than effort. Discipline is not intensity. Day. It is continuity under resistance. And continuity is built through repetition, not intention. Behavior repeats, identity forms, results follow. That sequence is always active. Day. Whether you are aware of it or not. So the only real question is not, do you want success? It's, what do you repeatedly tolerate when it gets uncomfortable? Day. Because that answer defines your identity more accurately than your goals ever will. At some point, you stop negotiating with yourself. Not because it becomes easy. Day. But because you stop believing that negotiation changes anything, you begin to see clearly. Every time you leave, you reinforce the same version of you. And every time you stay, day. Even slightly longer than before you interrupt it. That is where change actually happens. Not in inspiration, not in planning. Day. But in moments where nothing external forces you to continue, and you still do. That's the shift. There is nothing left to chase here. At this point, you already understand more than enough. Day. The difference is no longer knowledge. It is what you are willing to do when nothing is pushing you. Because your life is not shaped by what you understand. Day. It is shaped by what you repeatedly return to when effort stops feeling rewarding. And most people never notice how quietly that defines everything. They think change comes from new information. Day. But the real shift happens when old patterns stop being obeyed. Not all at once, not dramatically, but in small moments where you normally exit and you don't. Where you normally delay and you don't. Day. Where you normally restart and you continue. Nothing outside changes immediately, but something internal stops arguing. The constant negotiation begins to fade, not because pressure disappeared. Day. But because you stop treating pressure as a reason to leave. And over time, that creates something most people never experience. Stability under discomfort, not perfection, not motivation. Day. Not constant clarity, just continuity. And from that continuity, everything else slowly adjusts because life does not respond to intention. Day. It responds to what you consistently stay inside long enough to become.